All right, Sofi Bank. Sofi Bank. Today we're doing a review on Sofi Bank. Sofi Bank is popular. I'm sure many of you have heard of Sofi Bank. I personally have had Sofi Bank for the past 5 years. I have a checking account and a high yield savings account. Now, one of the main features of Sofi Bank, which you hear a lot about them, is their high yield savings account. As of today, it is at 3.8%. So that's one of the things that draws people into SoFi. SoFi also, it's an online bank. They have, I would say, a user-friendly app. They also have some cool features. The vault feature is cool. It allows you to disperse money into different funds, like if you wanted a vacation fund or a emergency savings fund. And that's within your checking account, which is cool. So SoFi has some good things about it. I am here to share an experience and issue a warning. If you have SoFi, this is something you should know. And if you're thinking about opening an account with SoFi, this is something you need to know before you even consider it. All right. So I'm going to share with you my experience, which I discovered that thousands of people have had this nightmare of an experience, and I only discovered it after. Now, my account has been restricted or essentially frozen, and I have not been able to get any answers from SoFi whatsoever. Now, I'm going to give you the backstory behind it. And before you say, you probably did something wrong or you're doing something fishy or shady, I'm gonna dispel that now because I haven't, and I'll tell you the story and you can be the judge after. But if your account has ever been restricted with SoFi, leave a comment. I want to know your experience. Okay, so here's what happened to me. About a few days ago, I have multiple bank accounts, so I feel like most people don't use just one bank. I made a transfer from another financial institution into my SoFi. It was $500. A day later, I was paying some bills, running some errands, and I received a notification from SoFi that your account has been restricted. So, of course, I call SoFi to see what's going on. I call them, and then the customer service or the security agent or whatever they call themselves, he starts asking me some questions. He says, yeah, are you asking me about some transfers? And I explained. I said, yeah, I transfer from my other bank into SoFi to pay bills, or I'll transfer it into the savings, for the interest rate. Oh, okay. He says, okay, I see that. Okay, we'll work on it, and then you'll be hearing back from us on when this is resolved. So I'm like, well, what's the problem? And he didn't really give me any answers, and I didn't really think too much of it because I've had the same spending patterns for 5 years. My direct deposit goes into my SoFi checking. I'll move money from my checking into my savings. And I have a portion of my direct deposit going to my other bank. And I make transfers here and there. I wouldn't say every other day. From my other bank, I may make a transfer once or twice a month. So it's not a different pattern. Nothing was off to where I felt like I should be concerned. I don't even know why they're concerned. But as we continue now, I am on day 3 of having my accounts restricted. Now, most of my money is in SoFi. All right. Which it's a scary thing. I haven't had access to my money for 3 days. What are people supposed to do? I have mortgage coming up. We have kids. I'm not sure what they're looking for or what they're trying to figure out. But after a few more calls, I keep calling them back, and they won't give me any information. I even said, okay, if it has to do with the Bank of America account that I moved money from, I can show you documentation to prove to you that that transfer was from me. I can help, expedite this. Oh, you just have to wait. You just have to wait. You just have to wait. That's all I keep saying. That's all they keep telling me. But this is a nightmare. Now, I look it up. I decide to look this whole thing up and see what this is about. And apparently, thousands and thousands of people have had their accounts restricted by SoFi for less. Some were for less reason than even a $500 transfer. The amount was less. And I've heard horror stories that this goes on for either a week, and some people have experienced a month or longer without having access to their money. I know the banks have some regulations where they probably can't talk about it, or they're not going to talk about it, but I need an answer from SoFi. And for this reason, I'm exiting SoFi. The moment my money gets released, I'm taking it elsewhere. Now, if this has happened to you, please comment below. If we can figure this stuff out together and figure out what happened, or if you have a solution for me on what to do, please share it. Now, with more research, I discovered the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And what they do, it's a government agency to protect consumers in the financial space. So I'm going to put a link up to it here on the screen for you, or in the description. And this way, if you're going through this, you can do the same thing. So what they do is you file a complaint, and then they reach out to, hopefully they'll reach out to SoFi is what they're supposed to do, and help us resolve this, because I can't imagine what's going to happen if I go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month without access to my money. So the first step I did was reach out to them. I had to change my direct deposit from work to my other bank, because obviously I can't have that bounce back or be in limbo. But yeah, I can't in good faith. I hope this helps anyone going through this, or if you're thinking about opening a SoFi bank account, I got to tell you, think twice. There's other banks. Discover has a good, highly rated checking and high yield savings account. I believe they're at 3.75%. American Express, if you're an American Express card holder, they have a high yield savings account. But don't just go to SoFi because it's popular. You can really run into trouble with this. And I think the other thing that I'm going to convert to after this experience is I'm just going to be using my credit card and pay it off at the end of every month. Give me a like if that's what you do and you found success doing that. I think that's just the safest bet. I was reading that, a good explanation behind that was if anything happens, if you're using credit, the bank is going to protect their money and they're going to go after their money. But if it's our money, as in debit, why would they be in any rush to help with that? So for me, I'm going to go the more protected route with using a credit card and just paying it off at the end of every month. But yeah, do some research of your own. Again, I've had SoFi for years before I had this issue, but the simple fact that they're not communicating, they're not giving me an ETA, any timeline, or information on what happened. It's nerve-wracking, and it's a nightmare not being able to access your money. So that's what I came on here to tell you guys. If you've had this experience with SoFi, please comment your experience and let me know what the end result of that will be, what the end result was, and I will follow back up and let you know what my end result was once this whole thing gets squared away. All right, so thanks for watching. I typically don't do videos like this, but if you're on part of my channel, hopefully this could help you avoid a disaster like what's happening to me. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.